Doesn't look like they're going to sign the fight, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. All because Eddie Hearn and that want more money. They've already had that much money off of Turkey in the last few years, Eddie and AJ, yeah? They've had boxing deals, they've had darts deals, they've had snooker deals.
You know what, I think people, listen, again, this fight should have happened 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6, 7, 5 years ago. It didn't. It's happening now because Turkey's putting his hand in his pocket. So he's decided to give the public what they want, and the public is saying, well, now you're giving us what you want. We want it our way. And we should be grateful for the fight contract.
Well, I can't really comment on Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, what they're doing. All I can comment on our side is we've done everything we can to make this happen in England. We've tried and tried and tried. Now it's, looks like it's going to go abroad. So, Tyson Fury just wants to.
Can you imagine the build up to this fight? The amount of media attention this fight's going to get worldwide. It's going to be frightening. It really is. And I don't think he's got the capability now to be able to deal with that kind of pressure. I don't see that in AJ anymore.
Can you explain that a little bit more? What it was like for you to go back to an arena where you were knocked out?
Right. So when I lost my
All Turkey. That's give years. Everything combined is about combined in the last couple of years. I tell you what, it's disgusting, money thirsty pieces of shit. It is what it is. Same old cliche, a decade later.
Tyson Fury has had enough of waiting for Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to get this fight signed. Fury is furious over the delay, accusing Joshua and Hearn of putting money ahead of making the biggest heavyweight fight possible. He points out that major deals across boxing, darts, and snooker have already been made, yet the Joshua fight is still not finalized.
Well, as you were kind of saying with Eddie and calling him a dickhead at times, which I thought was a bit unkind, especially as you were getting a delivery of food while you were interviewing him. It was a brilliant interview, I hasten to add. A very weird interview with you abusing each other, him trying to run off, and you calling him a dickhead.
I didn't call him
The Gypsy King wants one thing: ink on paper. Fury has even mocked Joshua over his golf buggy holiday mishap, suggesting AJ is more concerned about staying safe than stepping into the ring. Fury insists he has done everything possible to make the fight happen and believes Joshua's silence proves who is really delaying the matchup.
My life. He got one sausage up and down on holiday trying to jump off golf buggies. Has he not learned his lesson? He could break his arm, break his leg, fights off. Don't even give a fuck about the fight. You pieces of shit, cowards. I bent over backwards to make this fight.
Johnny Nelson weighs in, suggesting Eddie Hearn's future in boxing could change dramatically once Joshua's career begins winding down. Nelson believes the matchroom landscape could look completely different depending on what happens with Joshua. That only increases the pressure. If Joshua is such an important part of Hearn's legacy, why is he still taking so long to sign?
Personally, I think, once AJ's finished, Eddie will move into another realm of his life, of what he's deciding to do. That's what I personally think. So he can create as many enemies as he wants at this point. He can say what he wants at this point, because after this fight, I think the landscape will change in regards to matchrooms, head honcho.
Spencer Brown backs Fury's frustration, revealing that efforts were made to stage the fight in England. But with Joshua's side apparently struggling to finalize terms, the bout could now end up happening abroad. For Fury, that's more evidence that Joshua and Hearn are the ones holding things up.
Tyson Fury just wants to fight. He just wants to fight, wants to get on with it, get into camp, do what we've got to do, and let the best man win.
Duke McKenzie gives an even harsher assessment, saying he almost wishes Joshua would walk away from boxing. McKenzie describes AJ as being in a dark place mentally and fears Fury could flatten him if the fight happens. It's another brutal warning about Joshua's confidence and readiness.
I wish Anthony Joshua would still retire even now. I think he's in a dark place, on a personal level. Don't know if he's ever going to come out of this place that he's in, the hole that he's in. Not his fault. but it is what it is. I don't know that this fight isn't going to give us, let's just say Fury goes.
Gareth Davies offers a more measured explanation, suggesting Eddie Hearn could simply be sorting out business accounts before committing to the fight. If money needs to be settled, Davies believes Hearn has every right to handle it. But Fury isn't interested in those explanations. To him, a delay is still a delay.
Well, if that's how you read it, these are about reading. Your truth, my truth, and the truth. It's how you read it. You could read this as Eddie Hearn's trying to square the whole book and get everything paid up to date and get everything signed off, and as you would with trying to square off your accounts in your company and your invoicing and your payments up to date. Yeah. If he is owed money, he's owed money. So he's saying, you know, whether it's related or not, I don't know myself whether it's related or not to the deal with Fury Joshua, but it looks like. And while we're at it, can we sort these things out, please? He's claiming it's got nothing to do, and it may.
Teddy Atlas focuses on the actual matchup. He acknowledges Joshua's enormous size and serious punching power, but points out that AJ can be slow on his feet and sometimes stands too square, leaving openings. Atlas believes Fury is the superior technician, something that only strengthens Fury's confidence. If Joshua cannot improve those weaknesses, Fury could have plenty of opportunities to exploit them.
But he's a game guy. He's big as hell. He's a mountain of a man. He can, like I said, he can bang. Yeah, he's a bit slow on his feet and he's a bit in front of you. Tyson Fury is definitely the guy who can box. He's definitely the guy who's got more dimensions, more choices, right?
John Fury gives a father's honest view of Joshua, describing him as a fighter rebuilding after setbacks who desperately needs a major win to restore his confidence. He admits Fury versus Joshua would be a difficult fight, but believes it could give AJ the chance to return to the heavyweight elite. Still, John cannot ignore the biggest question. If Joshua is fit, hungry, and ready, why hasn't he signed?
When AJ is like he is, you know, he's on a comeback trail, he's had a couple of setbacks, he needs confidence builders, you know, and this ain't a confidence builder, it's a bloody hard fight. It's an hard fight. Southpaws, they're all hard fights. You know, he's a big fit man, you know, he'll have done his work and he sees his chance now. He's got his chance, Wallen. And a win for Wallen just set.
John Fury also reflects on the fight that should have happened 6 years ago, when both men were unbeaten champions in their primes. He calls it one of boxing's biggest missed opportunities. Now, with both fighters past their peak, John believes some of the magic has disappeared, making Tyson even more desperate to get the fight done before the opportunity vanishes completely.
Mountains sometimes miss each other on a very rare occasion, and these two have, you know, but it's gone now. It's gone. Both men have not got what they used to have. You know, and 6 years ago it would have been the fight of the century, or he said that, and I was the one gunning for.
Frank Warren says Fury is in some of the best physical and mental shape he has seen from him in years. He stresses that Joshua remains a dangerous heavyweight with serious knockout power, but insists Fury is preparing for war. While Joshua's side deals with negotiations, Fury is already training and mentally preparing for whoever stands in front of him.
You know, Tyson's looking in magnificent shape, best I've seen him in, to be quite honest, for a long time, and more importantly, mentally he's in a good place. And this is a big fight. He's in with a very, very experienced fighter who's a big man, big puncher. I think he's got a 90% knockout ratio. He's knocked out 17 of his opponents in the first round. So you know he can whack, and he's not phased about fighting over here. He fought recently over here and beat Dave Allen. And this is quite a tough comeback.
Spencer Oliver agrees that Fury looks sharp after training in Thailand, and says the heavyweight division has genuinely missed him. However, Oliver raises one important question. Are Fury's legs still there after everything he has been through? Fury is determined to answer that question inside the ring.
Good. I think that mentally he's in a good place. Physically, he looked good as well. He's been working well out in Thailand, and I sort of agree with Paulie. I think that he's a massive addition to the heavyweight scene. He has been over the last 10 years, and I think it's good to have him back. You know, we need the characters. Are the legs still there? Tyson
Fury then makes his intentions brutally clear. His only goal is to seek and destroy Anthony Joshua once the bell rings. He dismisses Joshua's interviews and says contracts, money, and excuses will mean nothing on fight night.
Me, I'm going to do my job and what I get paid to do, and that's seek and destroy.
Joshua thinks that fight's not going to happen. That's what he said earlier this week.
Joshua thinks, to be honest, it's a piece of too.
Is that just
and
because...
he's going to get a good hiding when I meet him and all.
Is that just because you've got to focus on this fight and you can't look past him, or is it simply because...
Their opinions don't mean anything to me, you know.
Anthony Joshua offers his own perspective, saying he is working extremely hard in camp and hoping that preparation leads to the perfect punch when the fight happens. It's a calm response, but Fury's camp sees it as more talking around the contract issue. Fury doesn't want promises about training. He wants Joshua's signature.
So you can see how much work goes into them sessions. It's going to be a tough fight. No fight is easy. No matter how hard you train and how you just got to get lucky. You know, so what we're training for now is just to get lucky. Miss a punch that could have hurt, catch it with a punch that's going to hurt him. So it's kind of like when they say all in the bank, it's putting it all in the bank. And on June 1st, I'm going to have to check into my reserve.
Carl Froch delivers one of the harshest verdicts, declaring that Joshua is finished as a serious heavyweight contender. Froch questions AJ's punch resistance and believes his weaknesses have become obvious after previous setbacks.
AJ's finished. He's got no punch resistance. I'm saying he's finished because he has got no punch resistance, and he hasn't. We saw that in abundance in round 1 against a nobody. So let's not skirt around it. Let's not try and dress it up in any other way. AJ's chin cannot take a punch. It's got a glass jaw, and it's never going to be solid anymore. It can't be. It's actually, I don't want to be too critical.
Lennox Lewis takes a more balanced view, saying Fury still has plenty left to offer and needs genuine challenges to remain motivated and sharp. Joshua represents exactly the kind of challenge Fury needs.
Yeah. Do you think Tyson still has a lot to give to the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I do think Tyson has a lot to give to the heavyweight because, you know, he's a good boxer, and there's a lot of guys out there that he hasn't boxed, such as the guys due to box. You know, there's a guy, he could box a lot of people out there. But, you know, like he said, you know, who are they? They have to be somebody good for him to box, because he has to have that type of person. He has to have a challenge. If you don't have a challenge in there, it's difficult to step in.
Dominic Engel focuses on the tactical battle, believing Fury has the boxing intelligence to figure out Joshua and potentially make the fight easier than expected. His analysis only adds to the pressure surrounding Joshua's camp.
And, you know, Tyson's got enough boxing IQ to think, you know, I've got to do this, that and the other with him to beat him. And he probably will do that, and he should do it quite easily if he's prepared properly.
And now everything comes back to one question. Why is Anthony Joshua still holding up the contract? Is Joshua ready to sign and finally make Fury versus Joshua happen? Or is he still avoiding the biggest challenge of his career? The pressure continues to build, while Fury insists he is already preparing for war. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and drop your prediction in the comments. Does AJ finally sign, or will Fury keep calling him out?